This is something lighthearted. Uh, Recently, I was talking with my parents and my aunt, emailing back and forth about movies, and Titanic came up. And I won't get into a strong opinion piece about the film. Suffice to say, it's not a film I enjoy watching. And my mother and my aunt both agreed that there was something visceral and compelling about it, even though they knew it was a patently dopey story. So I was trying to understand this phenomenon where you have a film with a very simplistic, maybe overly simplistic narrative, which means you don't have to think at all about what you're watching. And then you have characters who are vacant in a way that allows you to project yourself into them. And that this would give you the feeling of being along for the ride on this ship that's fated to sink. And I was trying to think if there were any movies that I feel that way towards, and it was like 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is a movie I've never really been able to communicate to my parents why exactly I like it as a film. And yes, it's exactly the same reason as they like Titanic. It's a completely straightforward visual story with characters who are a little vacant. During the sequence where Dave has to get back on board the Discovery and disconnect Hal, I think that was one of my first movie viewing experiences where I felt like the character on the screen. Maybe it's because he doesn't speak for such long periods of time. Also, the fact that you can hear his breathing puts you, the viewer, inside of Dave's helmet during that last scene. But in any case, my point is, I think it's the exact same kind of movie experiences where one person will say, I have no idea what you get out of that film when you're watching it. And critics of both films will often cite the same complaints that could apply to both. That they're overlong, too slow, have dull characters, repeating these really dry lines, and that there's a focus on technical detail that almost obscures the characters. Now, I'm not trying to get into a comparison of the ideas that the film present, obviously. I'm just saying, as a visceral film experience, 2001 is my parents' Titanic.